members of the community to address the board. When you are called, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address and address your comments to the board. Per established procedures, we will not respond to questions or interact with the speaker during public comment. Everyone who indicates that they would like follow-up from the district will get follow-up from the appropriate administrator. If I call your name and you have changed your mind about speaking, you may say pass. Up first we have Emily Van Root. I couldn't make out that last letter.
Van Roy.
Van Roy.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't know I'd be first. Goodness. So, hello. I am an employee at Forest Hills. I drive a school bus, Bus 10. This is my 6th year of driving, and it's been quite a learning experience. It's a crazy job, like it really is. I have up to 75 children that I transport, and I'm one adult. And then years as they've been going by, like kids are definitely needing more management for behavior, and it's challenging. I'm not gonna lie. And not everybody can do it. You know, it does take a special individual to do that job or want to do it. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I chose my route, Bus 10, so I drove the same kids to school. Like after COVID in 2020, I almost was like, I can't do this. But then in my heart, I just felt like I need to do this because kids need a stable person in their life. I drive them to school, they see me in the morning, they see me in the afternoon, and we're like watchdogs. Like if anything is off, we can detect it right away. And we're very good communicators that way. And anyway, it's a unique job. But so the end of the school year, these 4th graders, I had kids crying. You know, they knew that they wouldn't be on my bus next year, but I drove them since kindergarten, so that really that touched my heart. And they are the reason I do it. My number one job is being a mom. There's that little one over there. That being said, it's been very challenging. I really did not want to do this, but there's been a lot of issues around transportation. And the truth is, if I just want to cut to the chase, we don't make enough. It's a national issue, yes, but it's compounded here by various other reasons. And I have to thank the community for really helping us. I mean, we got a raise. That was like a huge endeavor. And I really am grateful for that. That raise disqualified me from getting food benefits. So I'm low poverty, low income poverty levels. I had food stamps and Medicaid. That's how I got through, and the help of my parents. I don't know how other people do it. I mean, they don't, I think. I know that we can work in other departments such as food service and the playground, but I can't do that personally. But making, it makes $12 an hour anymore, no offense. So the cost of living in Grand Rapids, I mean, just to even be kind of comfortable, I think it's like $55,000, a little bit more. I've looked into this, I've looked at the numbers. So I can't afford to do this job anymore. That's the honest truth. So I'm a full-time driver, but I don't make enough. So anyway,
Appreciate it.
my recommendation is to set the bar really high.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes.
It's an honor. You'll find me at 6860 Cascade Road. This speech represents my views only and not any affiliated organization. In today's special board meeting, I established that 6 members of this board exhibited fiscal incompetence by amending an already agreed upon contract to throw $12,000 of taxpayer money at Dr. Schubel because it made you feel good. I'm very glad that you felt good, but did this action do good? Consider the following. An entry-level bus driver makes $21.63 per hour. You could have hired a bus driver to work 555 hours for that money, Or you could have hired 10 bus drivers to work for 55.5 hours. That's almost 2 weeks worth of wages for 10 bus drivers, enough to start fixing the busing shortage and problems. Now, consider example number 2. My child's school is already begging us to buy school supplies. A school supply kit costs between $61 and $107. That $12,000 could have bought between 112 and 196 school supply kits. Recall that I and everyone else in this room have already paid taxes for you to use to support the teachers. You are hurting the poorest families in this district by making them double dip and being unsupportive of the teachers by your wanton spending habits. Finally, consider, through oversight and neglect, funding for student enrichment activities such as Odyssey of the Mind was allowed to lapse on your watch, and in a panic, you funded it for a year. In 6 months, are you going to come back to your taxpayer piggy bank for more money to support students when you already had plenty of money in your hands to spend less than a month ago? You could have supported your transportation staff. You could have supported your teachers. You could have supported the poorest constituents of this district. You could have supported the students, but you didn't. It is clear to me that a board that focuses selfishly on feeling good rather than sucking it up and making decisions that will actually do good is a board that will ultimately destroy the school district on the taxpayer's dime. And you will do it sedated and happy every step of the way. Good day to you.
Thank you. Doug Lee.
My name is Doug Lee, and I live at 52nd Street. I just counted before I came here. This is my 37th school board meeting since COVID. Okay? I've been here for 37 times listening to this board rubber stamp what administration gives you. And no point in time in 37 meetings have we talked about academic standards. We talk about safe places and how can you make kids, but we don't set them up for this future to be successful. We are worried about building buildings, building bricks, providing the facade to make you feel good. But at no point in time do you actually bring up academic standards. No, nowhere. 37 meetings, it's never come up. You don't talk about the grades, you don't talk about test scores on my school board, you don't talk about the 69 percentile that we rate in math and science on 11th graders. You don't talk about that. All we do is build new buildings, and we are not preparing our kids for the future. You're preparing kids for mediocrity. We want to be safe. Remember last year's school board meeting, we had 2 students come up here, and they said we were disgruntled because we were getting rid of the GLI program, only to be renamed it as the SEL program. And they said, why do we don't care about history? What we care about is how we feel about each other. That's what 2 seniors said last year. It's the same thing this year. We are not teaching education, we are talking feelings. That's not going to prepare our students for the future. You need to take the time and do like this, because I've been here many years ago when Washburn was here. So I have the unique opportunity to see the before and after. I've seen the degradation in our academics in the school. The board under Washburn put academics first, and it was priority 1 of that school board. You have negated the responsibility given to you in this community as school board members. You need to take education first. Once you focus on that, then everything else will come into play. That needs to become the priority. We are losing students. I asked you before that you need to set up an advisory board to find out why are we losing students in a growing area. Nothing's been done there. I know why, but you need to find out why. You need to set up this task force and find out, hire a consultant, why are students leaving. You cannot accept the fact that people are having less babies as the reason we're losing students. All the private schools, parochial schools, and charter schools are growing. Forest Hills is declining. We are on a decline. We are building buildings, we are building beautiful buildings, and we have shrinking enrollment. You gave out a tremendous amount of retirees, and very few of those retirees actually were here. More That was very disturbing. Some of these 30-year employees, it's celebrating. They've been here for 30 years supporting.
Thank you. Robin Vanderbilt.
Good evening, Board. Robin Vanderjack, Cascade Township. I'm here today to follow up on an email sent to each individual board member at the conclusion of last month's Board of Ed meeting. I had just found out that according to the American Library Association, it's the school board that is legally responsible for the resources in the school library. And since it services minors, consideration must take into account the students' ages and their social and emotional development. Considering this, we all know there is reading material on our shelves containing vivid descriptions of horrific sex crimes forced upon minor children, pedophilia, incest, rape, sodomy, along with the author referencing our black friends in the audience as niggers, coons, our gay friends as faggots, witches, school staff as retarded hoes, motherfuckers, cunt buckets, etc. Our public libraries catalog this book only in the adult section, not teens or young adult, for good reason. I've been passionate about safeguarding the students from the detrimental effects of this age-inappropriate library material, so I set about gathering opinions from experts who deal with the troubling effects that this has on young minds. These included a former high school counselor at Forest Hills, a local licensed sex therapist, a retired former Kent County assistant prosecutor who has represented many sexually abused children. And their unanimous consensus was that this material does not belong on high school library shelves. These authorities all care deeply about our young people. So after gathering their input, I had a desire to hear from each individual board member to ask, what position do you take on this matter? Is this acceptable material to be put before our young teens? I found out that only one board member found this material inappropriate for the age of our students. 3 board members believed it appropriate to remain on the shelves, and 3 board members refused to answer. The parents have no idea what is found on the shelves. Right or wrong, parents naively expect that you have their backs on protecting our kiddos, and I would like to see their trust rewarded. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.